Hey guys, it's Tommy and welcome back to Studio Sense. Today on Studio Sense we're going to be talking about a very well-known fragrance, and it is called Chrome by Azzaro. Azzaro has released some really fine fragrances. Chrome is at the very top in terms of how well known it is and how well used. So since it's a really popular fragrance, we're going to break down some of the notes and see if it's worth adding to your collection and why. Thanks for joining me. Coming up next. You yourself might even own Chrome. It can be purchased from anywhere from $15 on up at pretty much anywhere that you can find. In fact, I was in Walmart, TJ Maxx, and JCPenney, Dillard's. All those places have it. Talking about the notes in Chrome, starting at the top, it is a very fruity, fresh fragrance. It has been called a freshie, and it is definitely a freshie. It's one of those fragrances that is definitely a very fresh, right out of the shower. Some people have compared it to, a smell of a shower gel, something like that, but not in a negative connotation, in a very, very clean, soapy, sudsy. There's really not a lot not to like about Chrome. It doesn't do anything exciting or new. It is a very safe bet, but it's a great, in between those fragrances that you wear that have a really heavy statement. Chrome is a nice pullback from that. It's something that you can wear that says, hey, I'm fresh, I'm clean, so fresh and so clean. And I just stepped out of the shower and I want to go see a movie. Just stepped out of the shower and want to go play, basketball, softball, football, whatever you want to play. It's a great fragrance to have on hand to use in between possibly your signature fragrance and something on a little bit more on the heavy side or incense based. Top notes are a fruit cornucopia. You've got your pineapple, actually going from top to bottom in terms of what I first sense in the fragrance, and that is bergamot. You definitely have bergamot. You've got your lemon right next to bergamot, definitely a cousin. You've got pineapple, neroli, and rosemary as well. As with most fragrances that have that top note infused with fruit, it does disappear pretty rapidly, and Azzaro's Chrome is no exception. Going into the mid, you can see a little bit more complexity opening up in layers of cyclamen. You've got coriander, jasmine, and oak moss. Now I know in my illustration I've got a photo of oak moss that's green, and I know that when it dries, oak moss turns this like crystalline white, but I just like the color green, so I included that a little bit younger oak moss in this example. But it does use oak moss to some effect. It's not your typical oak mossy man's fragrance from 15 years ago. It's a little bit more fresh, spicy, sudsy, soapy, clean feeling rather than the donning an old suit and going to go to the gentleman's club or the speakeasy or wherever you would go when you throw on some oak moss infused fragrance. So it's a lot more fresh than that. Going into the Drydown, some interesting things happen in the base notes of Chrome. This is where all your fresh based woodsy fragrances come out, where you've got cedar, you've got Brazilian rosewood, you've got sandalwood, cardamom, tonka bean, and you've got your musk as well. And Elon has a very specific fragrance, so to include him into Chrome, I don't know whose idea it was, but it works pretty well for me. And I'm just kidding. There's the actual musk. At any rate, some interesting things happen on the Drydown. Chrome is a metal. It got its name from, it almost has like a fizzy, sudsy, seltzery feel to it, like an effervescent metallic. You ever bit your tongue or tasted blood and you got that irony, that metallic taste? Chrome kind of does the same thing in your nostrils. It gives you that kind of a brighter metallic, kind of a cold metallic feel to it. and vibe about it. Now the interesting thing about that is it doesn't last super long. The dry down itself, for me, after about 45 minutes, it reaches its peak fragrance for Chrome, which its signature fragrance is fresh, fruity, sudsy, clean, and then with a base of a metallic, woody, metallic feel to it. It's a nice mix across between nature and modernism, you know, or if I had to put it in terms of maybe interior decorating, it would be like the difference of minimalism and rustic, kind of a combination or a fusion of the two for me. And that fizzy, sudsy, seltzery, metallic feel does carry on throughout the dry down, but unfortunately the projection of Chrome, you're not going to get a ton. It doesn't have a ton of projection. Now I know this is widely disseminated over the internet. You're going to get a lot of different versions of, oh, it lasted for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours for me. And some are going to be like, it's crap, it lasts only an hour. It really just depends on what you're doing when you wear it and your body chemistry as well. I would say cutting it down the middle somewhere around 4 to 5 hours is what I got from Chrome. And this is on a consistent basis of wearing it for a long time. I have worn Chrome off and on for probably about 10 plus years, along with Davidoff's Cool Water and Drakkar Noir. It was kind of one of my go-tos. And it's a great standard for, like I said, any activity, whether you're going to go play basketball or go to a movie or hang out with the guys, or go see your girlfriend, hang out with your girlfriend. Doesn't matter. Chrome is great. In fact, the ladies typically really like that fresh, sudsy, soapy, clean sensation and vibe that comes from wearing Chrome. But the sillage is not that great. It does have it probably extends about 1.5 feet at most. So it's best worn in an activity and around and about. People can be, you know, within your, 5-foot nimbus of where you're moving, and they can get a sense of that freshness coming off your skin from Chrome. So don't expect too much. It's one of those buys that you really get your bang for your buck in terms of the opening and the mid. You're like, wow, this is really nice. I really like this. In on the dry down, you're like, okay, this is probably why it's $15. There are a ton of designer fragrances out there that feel very similar to Chrome, so it's not going to set itself apart from the pack at all, but it is a very good standard. It is a very good, very quality fragrance in terms of a quick, clean, fresh go-to. So there's not a lot that can be said that's negative about Chrome. The sillage trail is not super great. The projection is not super great. But again, you're not paying for that. You're just paying for a quick go-to, something that you can rely on, something that you can depend on in almost any activity. It's been called a summer fragrance, but honestly, there's not anywhere or any time that I would feel it's inappropriate to wear Chrome. So it's kind of a quick, easy go-to that you can just, it's like a thoughtless purchase. You grab it, you throw it on, smells great, and you're good. It's not one of those that's going to stop you in your tracks and you're going to go, wow, I detect a layer of something mysterious in there. I've got to go look that up. Right away, you're going to smell the fruit basket, the cornucopia in the beginning. You're going to see it dry down. You're going to start smelling in some of those more the coriander, the cardamom, the rosewood. The Brazilian rosewood and cedar are almost indistinguishable one from the other in the dry down. So you got those woody notes that are really good, that carry it, that are the typical fare. Now the fragrance is quality because of the ingredients are quality, and they did a fair amount of research before putting Chrome together. So kudos to the team that put it together. If you don't have Chrome as part of your collection, I can't endorse it more. It's great. It is easy, again, it's one of those thoughtless buys. It's one of those thoughtless, like you can reach for Chrome and not even worry about, is this the right decision? Is this going to be the right fragrance for me? Because honestly, 5 hours later, you can put something else on and you don't have to worry about it. All right, guys, I know we didn't delve super deep into Chrome because it's not a super deep fragrance. There's not a ton of things to be said about it, except it's great. The price is great. You can get it almost anywhere. It's been out for a long time. It's proven itself. The commercials that you're seeing in the background are over 6 years old, 5 years old. So the fragrance is a good standby. It's a great, even if you wanted to call it a signature scent, it's a designer scent that many other fragrances are have cloned or are cloning. It's the most simplified thing I could say is just, if you don't have it, go out and get it, add it to your collection. It's going to be an inexpensive buy and you're going to be really happy that you did. All right, guys, thank you so much for spending a little more time with me today. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, like, and I always appreciate your comments. Please put a comment below of what you thought of the review. If there's anything additional that you would like to add or any reviews you'd like to see in the future, make sure to include that as well. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time.